Man of Little Faith. This painting explores the fragile tension between belief and doubt, a struggle that feels especially acute in modern life. This piece grew out of a period of personal meditation on my own search for meaning, a journey marked at times by depression and the quiet ache of spiritual disorientation. In reflecting on that state of mind, I returned to the gospel story of Peter stepping onto the water, bold in faith for a moment, and then sinking as fear overtook him. In many ways, Peter resembles us. We struggle to keep faith when life begins to rise against us, when things feel unstable, when our attention is pulled apart by the symbolic waves and storms of existence and emotion. It doesn't take much for confidence to give way to doubt. We become distracted easily, overwhelmed by fear, noise, and uncertainty. This condition feels hyper-realized today. As a society, we are more distracted than ever from what is truly most important: the connection between life as we experience it now and what lies beyond it. Human life is caught between two realities. On one side is the finite, our limited existence, our bodies, our fear, our decisions, and our inevitable mortality. On the other side is the infinite, moral law, truth, love, and the deeper spiritual order that gives life its meaning. God, in this sense, is not a supernatural figure sitting above reality removed from it, but rather, God is the inner moral and spiritual force that connects our finite lives to something eternal. It is the bridge between the two worlds. Without that connection to the infinite, life begins to feel meaningless. Human existence is reduced to survival, empty, directionless, and filled with suffering that has no higher purpose. Our moral intuition, our sense of right and wrong, our capacity for compassion, self-sacrifice, and love is what gives structure to existence. It is the logos that underlines human life. When we live a life orientated towards service, love, and sacrifice, we begin to bridge the gap between our brief physical existence and something eternal. That eternal reality is not reached through ritual or habit alone, but through truthfulness, through the pursuit of what is right, even when it is difficult. Rather than depicting the biblical scene literally, I chose to suspend the moment where fear and relief coexist. I wanted to capture what it feels like to truly live in the present moment, the instant where outcome is uncertain and everything hangs in the balance. At the center of the composition is the meeting of two hands, one representing Christ, the other representing Peter or ourselves. This meeting marks the threshold between surrender and salvation. While the gesture echoes artistic traditions like the creation atom, the dynamic is reversed. Humanity is not being brought into existence, but lifted out of the depths. The moment is not about creation, but rescue. And the only thing that stands between that connection is us. Much like Michelangelo's moment just before contact, I emphasize the tension. Right before the connection is fully made, the instant before breaking the surface. The reaching hand symbolizes what differentiates us from the animal, our capacity to reflect on our own existence, to discern between what is right and wrong, and to choose meaning over despair. The swirling currents between the hands both form waves and a barrier, and they represent the storm that distracts us from faith and the distance we place between ourselves and the light. Within these ripples is where the doubt lives, but also where redemption begins. I want this painting to invite the viewer into that in-between place, the moment where we teeter, where we reach out, and where we hope to be caught. In choosing to reach, we commit ourselves to a life in pursuit of truth.